So it's good to meditate on this every moment, every time. So this here, what we are studying is just a kind of a session that we are studying, but practice, we can practice anywhere, anytime, while we are working, driving, this at home. Now next we meditate on the suffering of samsara, suffering of the sagli existence. Now we see suffering is basically it's a concept, isn't it? It is a concept. What do you say? It's a concept or it is a feeling? Feeling is concept or not? Huh? Feeling is, huh?
Concept is more intellectual.
Intellectual. And maybe feeling and concept together. Yeah. You feel something and you make something. That kind of. So as earlier mentioned, generally suffering is how you perceive it. Perceive when we face a certain situation and we feel something, and there we make something or think something, like, dislike, I feel this, that. See, so there involves the suffering, happiness. So generally, so we should see individual have a different way of feeling, isn't it? Way of feeling and way of perceiving. See, because we all individually have a different disposition of the mind. So I like this. I want to do this. And other people person say, no, I don't like that. I want to do this way. So there comes the disagreement. So the suffering is generally depends on the individual. As a people, how we perceive, how we feel, and how we accept. Some great beings who have a lot of training and practices, and they maybe perceive suffering as something positive. Some we may perceive as a negative. Anyway, first of all, generally, in the samsara state, in the cyclic existence, so we should say like there are three different types of suffering. See. Within those three, two are easier to understand. Suffering of change. See. Suffering of change is all this temporary peace and happiness. They are subject to change. They don't stay. It's momentary. It's nature of impermanence. Just see that. We work hard, make effort to achieve that which we are desire, that we want to have it. And after a certain time of effort, working hard, we may achieve it, we may get it, but then that again doesn't last long. Changed. So now this is, we are not making negative, okay? we are not making negative, but this is kind of our first intellectually investigating, studying. How about that, you know? Of course, we don't want to make suffering. Or we want to make all happiness, you know, or all happy, achieve happiness. Yet sometimes also that happens, you know. So it's good to investigate, see that nature. So in this, in our life, we see the things that I get what the things I want. I believed that this will make happy in my life and achieve peace in my life. And that what we got it, maybe that in that moment we feel good about that, but that doesn't last long. Just meditate on this. It's true or not, just see. Things that we desire, things that we got, which we have desire to achieve that. Even that moment, there is a fear to lose it, and the fear is suffering. See? It is said, the example is the suffering of change is like eating a delicious food, delicacy, with a poisoned delicacy food. When we eat, that moment is so delicious, but then after something brings suffering, you know. So that kind of suffering of change is like that. The example is like that. Then the suffering of physical and mental pain, that is actually when we are experiencing undesirable conditions, physically, mentally suffering. We understand that very well, and we want to free from that, and we make effort so much to free from that. And the third ones are called pervasive suffering. That's basic, the ignorance. The ignorance is the root of all the suffering, or in other words, confusion. The ignorance is creating confusion that doesn't allow us to see a right cause, a wrong cause. So we are confused to recognize all the phenomena of their nature. So as long as there's ignorance there, there's then pervasive suffering. So suffering is bound to come. Or in other words, say, the pervasive suffering is, of course, we don't get what we want, it's a suffering. Even things what we want, that we get what we want, there's also suffering. See, in the samsara, see, it's called, it pervades, the suffering is just pervaded all this state. So just we meditate on this. This is allow us to protect our mind. See? Sometimes not so easy, but still intellectually it allow us to protect our mind. Help us to stay our mind in the right place. So this wisdom allows to penetrate all the nature of the phenomena. So we just meditate there, see that, meditate or contemplate, whatever. So now meditating in this on this subject, emptiness. So they are great. There are many beneficial effects. There are many usefulness there. See, when we understand, aware that not just only myself, all other beings, sentient beings, different places, are suffering. They are in that kind of subject of one after another. Just see that, and then there we can develop such a great compassion. Not just an idiot compassion, no, a profound compassion. It's called, when we have that kind of compassion, that one can achieve the nature of fearlessness. No. Embracing all the beings in your heart in the field of compassion. Based on this kind of great practice. Particularly those who are ignorant, who doesn't know how to create the cause of happiness, how to free from the cause of suffering. It's a deeper, profound compassion can develop. Seeing that we all are same being, no difference. Nature of samsara. So that, like that, just meditate on this. And these are, we don't have to go in many places. And we can do this any places you are, just practice there. Meditate. And very practical. Nothing depends on many different types of belief system. This is way of all being in the samsara, in the cyclic existence. And also when we individually, we experience different types of suffering, and that slows down our ego. See, when we have a strong ego, or pride, so I am such a great being. So when we suffer, when we experience suffering, say, oh, maybe I'm not that great, you know. So slow down, bring you down, you know, on the ground. When we're on the ground, there's more opportunity, more chance to develop as the spiritual path. And then these types of suffering, unfavorable conditions, as I mentioned, it does not come from without cause or wrong cause or incomplete cause. It comes from the right cause. That is like non-virtue, non-virtuous action, non-virtuous thoughts. So we make effort to free from all these non-virtuous action, thoughts, and develop all the positive thoughts, make effort. So this we learn, get wisdom through the experience of suffering. Because we don't want suffering. And then more important is get a sense of renunciation, to want to free from samsara, the cyclic existence, wish to achieve enlightenment, the fully enlightenment, fully awakened state. So we see suffering as a positive thing. Even though we don't like when we face the suffering, but from that experience we get such a great wisdom. So seeing within cyclic existence, samsara, any place we go, we cannot get away from the suffering. We cannot get away from the death. So seeing this, meditate on this. So now these are some subject of the meditation practice. Is we say in the base on the Tonglen, we purify or send away all our wrong view. So get rid of the wrong views. Get the right view of all the phenomena of our life, nature of samsara, and receive the right view, right understanding. So there are many stages of the Tonglen practice. And this is a beginning, a starting of our making foundation to achieve the oneself as a perfect being and benefit all the sentient beings. So now we know in the samsara, so there is no anything which is absolute, permanent. Everything's momentary. Within in the samsara, everything's subject of change, state of suffering. So we cultivate such a mind that to wish to free from this state, realize that nature, achieve the enlightenment, and not just wholly for myself, but all others, also to free from the circle of this suffering and wish to achieve enlightenment. So develop the bodhisattva, the mind of the enlightenment, based on compassion, loving kindness. So my life is not independent. It's depend on all the other sentient beings. We think I'm independent. If we're independent, go to the solitary place, stay there with nobody, we cannot stay there. Without others' kindness. So food, clothes, shelter, so all depends on others' kindness. See? Whether directly, indirectly. So develop that kind of mind. All other sentient beings, whether they are smart, not smart, ignorant or not ignorant, suffering or not suffering, they all are there, make effort to free from suffering, wish to achieve peace and happiness. But due to their temporary obscurations, doesn't allow them to free from suffering, to achieve to experience peace, happiness. So we just meditate on that and practice the mind in this process. Whatever good qualities, positive qualities that we have is we got from the other beings, from the other sentient beings. If I don't make mistake, I have all the opportunity, chance within all the sentient beings. If I make mistake, it's my problem. It's my mistake, not others. See? For instance, suppose like one become a famous in the community. How that famous comes from? When I don't make mistake, then other people's support, other beings, they're working together, I become famous. I cannot become famous in a nomad, in a jungle. See? So all these different things, as we say, meditate on. Feel, so these are just feel in the mind. bring in the mind. So then any kind of different suffering that I have is very small amount compared to all other sentient beings' suffering. My suffering is nothing. So this kind of study, practice, it opens our mind which is very narrow, no any space. So that opens through this understanding, through this wisdom, through this practice. Seeing the reality of all phenomena, reality of all this samsara, enlightenment. So this time it's called sending, purifying all our ignorance, receiving the wisdom by knowing all the natural phenomena. And receiving the love and compassion, the enlightenment mind in our being. And releasing that arrogant mind. I think this morning this much maybe is okay. I think we have a lot of subjects to practice. We'll have a break, and then if you have anything to discuss, we'll make some time this afternoon. Altruistic thought, all the support that we get from them is called receiving their wisdom, compassion, and then we ourselves establish like them, in our meditation practice. After receiving all those good qualities, support from these enlightened beings, then we send this great wisdom, altruistic thought to other sentient beings who don't have this kind of opportunity, with a sincere thought, with a profound mind, with an unconditional mind, and we send to all other sentient beings. So receiving, sending, all this way. So this is one of the very high way, profound, more active way, practicing the receiving and the sending. So, as this morning we establish first all the necessary prerequisite thoughts that we started and established through our understanding and experiencing, meditating on this. So on the basis of that foundation, now see how we can achieve enlightenment, how we can help other sentient beings. See? So this we here a very very short practice we have here. So we'll use this as sometimes as we're beginner, since seems kind of a little foreign and not so kind of familiar. We may happen like that, but we do know there are so many enlightened beings, great masters, super beings there in this world, exist in a different dimension and different places. So we, even though we at this point we don't see them directly, but their spirit, their compassion, their wisdom is all exists in all the different directions. So we ask their support, their help through their wisdom, compassion, great qualities. See? This exists because we see all this exists here now. When the time comes when these are not exist, then different. When we realize, these are not exist, illusion. So that time there's a different. But at this time, since we see, no matter how much we reject them, still there. So at this level, these also enlightened beings, they also exist. So we should ask their support. Okay. So this our own effort, interest, so all this, and the enlightened beings, their great activities. So their activities are beyond limitations. So their compassion, wisdoms are beyond the limitations. So their wisdom, compassion reaches to all the sentient beings, and when our effort, motivation, determination are there, so they work together because interdependent. Okay. Now we will go briefly on this short text. Say practice of purification and compassion. So purification is so in this case we should say throwing out. So what we purify, our obscurations, or negative thoughts, negative karma, that throwing out, purifying, and receiving compassion. Or we receive compassion from all the enlightened beings. This compassion, as I mentioned, there's this morning, as I mentioned, there's a idiot compassion. The compassion which is based on fearlessness, or we receive fearlessness quality through the practice of compassion, great compassion. See? So we need to establish the fearlessness nature of the compassion, compassion which brings the fearless nature. So when we establish that kind of great compassion, then whatever we do without fear. No matter what kind of conditions we face without fear. So that we need to establish through this kind of meditation practices. Okay. I pay homage to Lord Jigten Sungburana Shiri, the peerless one, who is the reincarnation of Ayya Nagarjuna, and who is the embodiment of the Buddhas of the 3 times past, present, future. 3 times Burikdun and Marmenze are the Buddhas in the past. Maitreya Buddha, which will come in the future. Shakyamuni Buddha, our historical Buddha at this time. So this is a short, one verse, okay, paying homage to the enlightened beings, said, asking them, we ask them, allow us to practice this successfully. Give us blessings. Please energize the motivation we have, the attitude we have to study, practice. So please give us some kind of ability, to do these things. Okay. Then cultivation of artistic motivation. Yes, I confidently take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Take refuge in the Buddha, the teacher, Dharma, the teaching, Sangha, the most excellent order. So this is an example. So in order to free from samsara, free from suffering, I want to become Buddha. And in order to become Buddha, I have to practice the teaching. So in order to practice, we have to become Sangha, the practitioner. Sangha means practitioner. The Sangha means those who motivated, cultivated the mind to achieve enlightenment, the mind which to free from samsara. So that I confidently means I want to do this. So making kind of build a strength in our own mind. So I will do it, and I can do it. So no matter what kind of time it may take, no matter what kind of energy it may take, but if I pursue or I make effort, one day I can make it. Whether this lifetime, other lifetime, or after hundreds lifetime or thousands lifetime, doesn't matter. I will make it. See, instead of wandering in the samsara endlessly, see, wandering in the samsara, in the cycle existence endlessly, even it may take 1,000 lifetimes, far better, isn't it? Okay. So make that determination. Put that kind of strength in the mind. So that's first very important. It's called wearing the armor. Wearing the armor of the determination. So when one goes to war, all the soldiers, they wear the armor, to protect from the weapons. Yeah. So here we are wearing the armor to protect from all the samsaric influence. So this is a war we are making between samsara and enlightenment. So it's a kind of as this morning we discussed and we meditated. It's so kind of inexpressible kind of joy, and so happiness that we can achieve through this. It says such kind of a great treatment that this kind of path have shown us. Like when we have a wound in our body, there's a lot of kind of treatment. You see, so we endure all this because we don't want those things. But there's a lot of kind of operation, surgeon, so we have to go a lot of problems. But this is such a great treatment that we don't have to go those three. We have the wound of afflicting emotions, different negative thoughts, all this. But these all wounds can cure by such this kind of great medicine, treatment. So when we practice joyfully, with confidence. So the great inner, inexpressible joy can achieve through this practice, without expectation. We no need to expect that comes. When we meditate, we don't expect anything. Just sit, meditate properly with proper motivation. Then appreciate the teaching. Rejoice the opportunity we got. And this joy, happiness, just comes from there. If we expect something, it doesn't come. So we want to sit 1 hour and say, wait, expect now within this hour I must get some kind of great experience. And then we just sit, starting right from the beginning with the expectation. Then we end up the session without fulfilling our expectation. So it's not healthy. Not healthy. Instead of with expectation, but just look at the problem and solve that problem in our mind. What's the big problem in my mind I have? I should work with that. Now purify that. Just do that. And then the result is just there. When we could do this practice. When we could not do the practice properly, how much we expect, result is not there. See? So this meditation practice we do, just do with proper motivation, altruistic thought. So then, next is I will cultivate the pure motivation from now on to establish all mother sentient beings in the state of perfect enlightenment. This is now, it's not enough just myself to free from this suffering, confusion. But all the sentient beings who are in the samsara are this state, they are in this state, in the confusion state. First, just develop. Even though sometimes we may not feel it, we may think this is kind of like idiot, So why I should do this? I don't feel in the mind why I should do this, Sometimes it may come, may happen, but if we just make effort, just put that mind again and again, then slowly comes. And that mind is such a precious mind. That mind we cannot get from any other places unless we develop within in our mind. Because that mind is so precious, through the practice of that mind, we can become a precious being. See? No, since that mind is so holy, pure, we can become a holy person, a pure person. See? So that we only have to develop within our mind. And with that mind is the source of all the peace, happiness for oneself and for all other sentient beings. So we only have to develop within in our mind. So as I mentioned, to develop that mind, this morning teachings becomes very important. As they are very important factors that we put together. So this is called interdependence. Interdependence. So depends so many factors that have to get together. It makes one a great result. So develop that mind. Now with this mind, so now at this time I have no ability to help myself, to help others, but I have to do this. So that we follow the short practice on this. Omo Sarva Baba, Omo Sarva Baba, Shuddha Sarva Dhamma, Sobhava Shuddha Ham. This is a Sanskrit word. It's explanation of the like a pure mode of abiding the nature of all phenomena. Or this is so should say we should say ultimate reality elements, or the elements of the ultimate reality, or in the non-artificial state, nature, how these phenomena exist in their nature, without depending our own perception or feelings. So self-nature for all Dharma, or whole reality, is pure openness. Maintain that nature.